Please join your hands as we welcome the achievers from Karnataka, Ms. Chinmay P, Mr. Sandeep Badad, Mr. Sagar, Mr. Manoj, Mr. Kiran Kamate. June 5th is a very important day in the calendar, not only for India, for the world. We celebrate this day as World Environment Day. The importance of environment, the importance of ecology and ecosystem to the world is nothing more than debated, but as it is. Today we gather here for the launch and orientation of a very unique initiative called DRONA. Now one last question where probably each one of you can come up with your thought process. If I am starting answer writing from today, if I want to make answer writing a habit, so what is that one habit every aspirant should start from today? Probably starting with Kiran sir.
Just showing up. Because see, what happens is that when we start answer writing, the first thought that comes into our mind is give up. That's enough. Like, let's say you're writing introduction, you are like, done. I'm done for the answer. Don't do that. Like, as Chinmay Akka told, the self-introspection aspect, she got to understand that she's taking 6.5 hours because she wrote for 6.5 hours. That is, she could have given up at the first hour, she could have given up at the second hour. Not giving up and consistently showing up every day and writing 2-5 answers is what matters. Especially, it's an exponential growth. 1.01 to the power 1, 2, 3, 4 to the power 60. It will go up to 10, 15 like that. So for example, till today, I have gone through a lot of strategy sessions. I have gone through a lot of topper copies. I have talked to Kiran Anna, Sandeep Anna, Jayant Garg, All India Rank 61, so many of my peers. One thing that they have told me is that if they have practiced answer writing for 60 days, let's say 80 days, they never failed to be in the list. That is for sure. If you show up every day, if you write answers every day, you will find a way to improve yourself. So showing up is the one most important thing. Despite all the negative energies that is pulling you back, showing up is what matters the most.
Amazing. One habit that I can start.
So I think what Manoj said is just sets the tone. See, when I wrote my first test, I've read a lot. I read a lot for the first 3 attempts. And when I sat down to write my first test, I probably wrote out of 20. It was just one test. I wrote around 13 or 14. And I think that was the most happiest day of my life. Because for someone who has not written any answers, and I was not worried about I will finish 20 or I wrote 12 or 13, and that was like the happiest day. I've roamed around Chandra Layout that day like most happiest person. So you have to start at some point. That the bottom line is you have to start some point. You are going to write very bad essays. Probably I don't want to look at my own answers in 2021 or 22. So that was the kind of answers. But from there on, one thing, as Manoj said, you have to just show up every day to something like 20-25 attempt where I wrote at least every day PYQ answers for all those 75 days PYQs. So that is like 70 days into 7 answers. That is 490 answers of just PYQ. Then there is weekly tests of 1 full length. So I did at least 2 iterations of in the test series and 2 simulators. So that is 4 iterations of full length tests of GS 1, 2, 3, 4. Then that is again like 4 into 20, another 160 there. So 18 to 4, so that would be 240 there. Then another PSI, same thing for again PSI or the optional. So there I wrote just like Chinmay, I wrote like my first PSI in 2024, the 5th attempt. I just read and I just wrote 2 tests for PSI. That was the only 2 tests, and I wrote it for like 4.5 and 5 hours each. So but still on the day of the exam, I somehow finished both the papers. I got 250 marks. And this year I wrote 16 tests for PSI alone. So 8 mini tests and 8 full length tests. So you have to start somewhere. You cannot directly do this. And I accumulated a total of 950 answers. So that was my strategy. That was last year Rangamanju's strategies, AR 24. And this is what the commonality around it ultimately is that you have to show up, you have to do this every day. And it's not that you are doing blindly. You have to understand you are not chasing numbers here. Just because I said 950, now you start chasing, I'll do 1050. That is not going to work. Every 950, like in those 950, it was an incremental change. My bottom line is that it is going to be incremental. It is just always chasing half mark or 0.25 mark. That's it. You start at 40, 50 marks out of 250, then you improve, then it is 70, then it is 90, then it is 95. Then I feel that answer writing is like this pyramid and divided into 3 parts. The bottom 2 tier you can fill in very easily. That is, you can reach up till 75, 80 marks very easily. But thereafter, from 80 to 100, that's the challenging part. So you have to take it as one answer or one test per day or one day at a time. You have to look it at one day at a time and not just rush and chase numbers. So it is incremental change, incremental improvement.
Thank you so much, sir.